Welcome to Face, the program
that frontally discusses
political and social issues in Nigeria. The weekly program brought to you on Wednesday by 6 p.m. Nigerian time, anchored by Prince Ewemade Concourse, powered by GCSDN.
Join us.
Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Face to Face program. Our topic for today is it necessary to reverse the Nigerian constitution to align with the contemporary circumstances? That is our discussion for today. But before our panelists join us here in the studio, I'm going to play a quick jingle that I love so much about our dear country, Nigeria, by Sonny Okoso, before we continue while we're waiting on our panelists to join us here in the studio.
Nigeria is now or never. You either love it or lose it forever. Nigeria is now or never. You rather love it and keep it for good. Freedom is now or never. We either win it or lose it forever. Freedom is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Let me hear you. Zikaozi, Jai Kama. Zikaozi, Anje Bahana, Jai Kama. Adaleke Zikaozi, Jama Bahana, Jai Kama. Anje Zikaozi, Anje Bahana, Jai Kama.
Yes, welcome back. Like I said, the topic for today is it necessary to reverse the Nigerian constitution to align with the contemporary circumstances? My guest is here. Let me bring him to the studio before I continue with my analysis on the topic for today. Chief MD, you are welcome to the studio, sir. Can you hear me?
Thank you very much for having me once again. I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. How are you today?
Yeah, very much. Thank you for having me today. I'm doing very well. And yourself, sir?
Thank you. Before I come back to you, let me just quickly play something that has to do with the Constitution, some of the argument by the legal luminaries, Nigerian legal luminaries that we have, the person of Clark, before we continue, so we can...
Amendments to the 1999 Constitution. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming on this.
Always my pleasure to be here.
The Honorable says that, in fact, it has an interesting theme, that retreat that they have, towards ensuring good governance, accountability in Nigerian federalism. And I did ask him, he says, look, that Nigerians may have a wrong impression, but they mean well for this country. But looking at some of the provisions, I know you've gone through this, you think they really mean well for good governance from what you've seen?
Let us be honest with ourselves. We lawyers says you cannot build something on nothing. The Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, is a constitution that I believe we should jettison completely because it does not augur well. After 17 years, it has created more problems for us in Nigeria. It has given more powers to the executive governors and the president, that in exercising these powers, they have allowed corruption to come in. Let me give you an instance. The question of security votes with governors has no basis in the Constitution. They are illegally accepting security votes without constitutional provisions. Security votes was brought in by the military governors because being a military governor, he needed security votes to start looking at people who are going to topple their government by way of a coup. So they allowed them that money so that they could be paying spies to report any coup attempts. Now, the civilians inherited it without a constitutional provision. When Imo State was doing its 5 years something on your channels, the commissioner said Okorocha released 4 billion of his security vote to enable them to use it in building schools. Let us even agree that 4 billion is the minimum. When you multiply 4 billion by 36 every year for the past 17 years, you see what money has been going into the pockets of these governors, and they don't account to anybody.
And we don't know how much exactly.
I'm just using that revelation by Imo State. Now they should be called to account for it. As far as I'm concerned, they have reaped Nigeria of more than 1 trillion naira within 17 years without accounting for it. Now look at also the powers of the governor. When Obasanjo in his good sense created what you call the excess crude fund, the excess crude fund was the excess from the budgeted or money. When the price of oil was 110, the budget was pegged at 75. So you still have about $45,000, which now Obasanjo said, keep it in an excess crude fund, so that when the price of oil goes below that 75 benchmark, we will have money, to help you to still maintain the standard of governance. What happened? The governor started breathing on the neck of the president. We want this, we want this. When Obasanjo left, he left 86 billion reserve and 47 billion in the excess crude fund.
Yes, we are just our topic for today. Is it necessary to reverse the Nigerian constitution to align with the contemporary circumstances, given the fact that this constitution, at least in my own opinion, at least its purpose, considering the reality of today, the reality that we face in Nigeria, given the prevailing condition and the actual state of affairs in the country, the existing Nigerian constitution has become impractical. It was previously modified to cater to the self-serving interests of politicians rather than the welfare of average Nigerian citizen. We want to get your opinion on what you think about the Nigerian constitution. Should it be, amended again or scrapped completely in order for us to have a viable constitution that will cater for the needs of the average Nigerians? Because what we have at the moment cater for the need of those on the top, the organ at the top, like we refer to them. Because if you look at it, like what the son just made mention of, the security vote issue being allocated to the governor, which is not backed by the constitution. It's not in the constitution. So if Nigeria as a nation were to move forward, in my own opinion, I believe we should have a new constitution, something that will cater for the need of the average Nigerians. Because if you look at the current constitution, there's nothing there that cater for the need of average Nigerians. And also the issue of those who are legislating for us. If you look at it properly, what are they doing in the chambers, in the two chambers, the Senate and the House of Rep? These two chambers could be made together, or they should be they should be paid on whenever they sit. Because most of them, they go there to sleep. All they do for us is aye and nay, while some are sleeping. So a lot of things that is embodied in the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution as amended, should be scrapped. Like the issue of the three arms of government, the judiciary, legislative, and the executive. Also, the issue of the local government autonomy, which by now local government should be part of the they should be also be part of how the state get their own fund. Go directly to the local government instead of going to the state and the state have to disburse it to the local government, which is not it's not working. It's not working for each or any of the local government in Nigeria, because the governor of each of these states sit on this money without the people at the grassroots benefiting. Because if those funds were to be sent directly to the local government will be able to implement some of those projects that will affect the life of the people in the local government, because the government, everything starts from the bottom, not from the top to the bottom. So our guest, I think, is having some technical issues. So if you are wherever you are watching this program from today, you are part of this program. You can send us your comment, your thought, whatever you think about this. If they have to reverse the Nigerian Constitution in order for it to align with the present reality of today, because this Constitution was amended again in 1999 after the military junta gave us the Constitution that we are now using. During the Obasanjo-led administration, it was re-amended, and still it's not working. That document is, to me, is just like an empty document. If you look at take America for example, their Constitution is spelled out. Everything on the Constitution, the First Amendment, Second Amendment, up to the 12th Amendment, everything is spread out on their Constitution. And whatever is in that Constitution, that's what the government is using, and the citizens of that nation, they are benefiting from it. Unlike our own Constitution, that there's nothing. We are not benefiting. We are not getting anything out of it. It's just a mere document that benefit the richest, those in the political power, the corridor of power. For example, the governors of each state, they can allocate security votes as they please or as they wish. For example, like what the son Clark just said, he said Imo State, he referred to Korocha, who dish out so much amount of money just to do projects, to do things that will benefit his own interest. So I think the Constitution needs to be revisited, and we should have a different Constitution where a lot of things should be amended again, especially the local government autonomy. Granting the full autonomy to a local government should be in our Constitution, not leaving it to the executive or the legislative for them to decide. For example, like some of the states agreed to have for the local government to have autonomy, but state governor, they blocked it, because why? It's not going to serve their own purpose. So that is why something like this should be embodied in our Constitution. So it will be there. It will be on the written the document that is guiding the nation as a country. So let's send us your thoughts. So we can also we want to hear from you what you think. If you believe the Constitution needs to be reversed and fit the reality of today, because things are the Nigeria of 1999 and the Nigeria of 2023 is complete different. It's completely different. So I don't want to go into citing too much examples of things that differ from 1990 today. You are already aware of those information, but in my own opinion, I believe the Constitution needs to be revisited, and in order for it to align with the reality of Nigeria of today. So we're going to take a quick break. Before we come back again, let me just put in a little clip for us to enjoy.
Just the play, just the play. Sir, I'm an influencer, but I don't have data to follow up matters. My brother, no problem. Just the play. You don't get BBC. You dey shout, we need change. We need a new Nigeria, my brother. Just the play. You think it's funny? They play now, no problem. Just the play. You think say na me you do? Just the play.
Yes, we are back again. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the current Constitution of Nigeria? Should it be revisited, or yes or no? You can send us your comment on the comment section, as I think our guest is still having some technical issues on his from his side. So the show must go on, like I always say. So if you have any comments, send it to us, your thought on the Constitution. And if you think it is necessary for the Constitution to be modified in order for it to fit the reality of today, you can also send us that comment and we'll talk about it. So one also want to hear your own perspective of this revisiting the Nigeria Constitution in order for it to align with the reality of today. So send us your comments as we continue to wait patiently for our panel, our guests to log in back again, and we can continue with the program. So what are your thoughts? Because for me, like I said, the Constitution needs to be revisited. It's not working. It's not practicable at the moment. What we have currently, it's not working. Let me just. There's the 1999 Constitution right there. That's what we have now. The document. Everything there was transferred over to us by the military juntas, according to our father Clark, the son said. The military was the one that gave us that, hand over the documents to the civilian, and the civilian only made some amendment that also fit their own purpose. So now we've been since 1999 to date. That's quite a long time, and it is my own opinion that the Constitution needs to be revisited again. A lot of scholars have argued this over the years, that the Constitution needs to be revisited, especially like the IPOP, always asking for or seeking for self-determination. If there was a clause on that Constitution that says whenever any of the region are tired and they choose to see it from the nation, they can call for a referendum, but that referendum clause is not in the Constitution. Something like that is very important. It's very important. It should be on our Constitution, because this is a country that was brought together, South and the Northern dialect. Nigeria is a very big country, I must say. And the amalgamation has already expired since 2014, if I'm correct, from 1904 to the 2014. That's 100 years. So if you look at it properly, there are a lot of things that needs to be on the new Constitution. Should they decide to revisit it, like the referendum clause should be in there, and the local government autonomy, because that's the foundation of every society. The local government, like where I live, for example, here, everything we do here in this country, in the United Kingdom, for example, you deal with the local government council. You deal with the council directly. Everything you do, your council rent, your council tax, everything, whatever you do is directly with the council, not with the prime minister, not with the government at the center, but with the local government authority. So they are the foundation of every society, the local government. So that is why it is very important for a local government to have their autonomy in order for them to function effectively, so that the people will also benefit from this. Because the reason the average Nigerians and the average Nigerians, they are not benefiting at the moment, is because everything is packed at the middle. And it is about time for the middle to be dissolved, which is the legislative chamber, the House of Senate, and House of Rep. Because these people are just a bunch of criminals. They are not doing anything. They are sitting there saying hi, A, and nay, and the motion is passed. Sometimes they don't even read the motion before they pass it. Like I was reading somewhere a few days ago, that the 10th Assembly, I think this is the 10th Senate, the Goswe Akpabio, the Senate President, is just passing a motion without the input of his fellow colleague in the Senate. That shouldn't happen in a developed nation. Like it shouldn't be happening. This point in time in the history of Nigeria, where one can just pass a bill without the input of those who represent other constituencies. So that is more of the reason why we believe the Constitution needs to be revisited and amended to fit the reality of today's purpose. Because in most countries, the countries that the democracy is already solid, yes, they might not need to revisit their constitution. But a country like Nigeria that thinks is going up today, tomorrow down, yeah, there is need for this constitution, for our constitution to be revisited, because in most of the cases, our people, our elected officials, they do not work with the constitution. Instead, they work contrary to the constitution, even though the constitution is the guiding document that should guide whatever that should be done in the nation on behalf of the country, on behalf of the citizen, but still, they are not doing it. So it is my own opinion that they need to revisit the constitution to fit the reality of today. In absence of that, we are just going to continue to live in, live in abject poverty, and things are going to continue to remain the way they are, because no changes, no visible change, no pathway to progress or success. So these are some of the things that need to be looked at. Yeah, we are still waiting on our guests, but this program lasts for 30 minutes, and we want to hear from you wherever you are joining this program from today. You can send us your comment on the comment section, so we can read it as well and discuss about it. Before we continue again, let me just play a quick clip.
They go do like they no see say food you no dey.
My country people, we don hear una cry for things to better for our country. But for Naija to better, every Naija man, woman and pikin must change and begin to dey do the right thing. Time don reach to end this chop I chop o. So anybody wey chop money and break law, whether na politician or tuke driver, we must agree to punish them and make them pay the price before we forgive anything. Because if punishment no dey when you do wrong, that means say we don become lawless and things go dabaru. So we dey say no to forgiveness without punishment. If you do bad or break law from today, you go see pepper. We for ACCER don ready.
Yes, we are back again. Send me your comment on the comment section, your thought about the current Nigerian constitution. Do you think it is working? If the answer is no, also can also send us a comment so we'll know what you think, and if it is necessary for the constitution to be revisited in order for it to fit the purpose and the reality of Nigeria of today. Because when the constitution was amended in 1999, that was Nigeria of 1999, and this is Nigeria of 2023. Nigeria of 2023, where certificate forgers run the affairs of the nation. Nigeria of 2023, where someone with a fake document, presenting a fake document to contest. So all these things are going on today, So these are the reality on ground today. So if you are just joining this program, wherever you are joining from, our topic remain if it's necessary to reverse the Nigeria constitution to align with the contemporary circumstances. That is our topic for today. So I think our guest is still having some technical issues, but send us your comment and we'll read your comment out as well. And the program, like I said, lasts for 30 minutes, and we have a few minutes more to go. Still waiting for our guest to log back in. But if he's unable to log back in, we'll close the program when it's time to close the program. So send us your comment. Like I said, I've already, analyzed, my own point of view, that it is very important that those who are ruling the country or running the affairs of the country to revisit the 1999 Constitution as amended. It is very important in order for us to, for the citizens of the country to benefit the effect and the dividends of democracy. Because in absence of those people who are supposed to benefit the dividends of democracy, in absence of them reaping it or benefiting from the so-called democracy, then the so-called constitution is useless. So it needs to be amended to fit the reality of today. I want to thank you for tuning in and joining this program, as always. And we have come to the end of today's segment. Until next week, same time, same place. I look forward to seeing you guys again. I say adios.